You're listening to the podcast where we talk about life, sports, family, and everything in between. Welcome to Just Talking Out Loud with your hosts, Ron and Terry.
Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Ron.
And I'm Terry.
And we are really happy to be here, aren't we?
Yes, we are, yes.
As this is Halloween. This episode is Halloween.
Okay, that's great.
Let's talk a little bit about some Halloween, some Halloweens that we celebrated when we were young, and how our youngest child thinks we might have overdone. He's like, well, what's all this stuff that we
put on the yard for our grandchild?
We bought some stuff. We went shopping.
I do have to admit, Zachary liked to decorate. Remember the year that your Nana Mary passed away and they gave him all of her decorations that would fit in a couple boxes? He decorated his room and every inch of this house that he could with that stuff.
It was all Christmas.
Yeah, it was Christmas stuff. But he always liked to, I bought him the spider webs every Halloween, and he would hang them out on the porch and try to find spiders. And we made spiders. We made little crocheted spiders one year. And I did help him with things like that. But I let him, but I never went hundreds of dollars into decorations for it.
Well, we didn't do hundreds of dollars, but we did, our plan was to just see if we could find like a blow-up type thing for Fenn. And then we go into Big Lots because I saw we had a coupon. Plus, I had two coupons.
And then everything was 40% off or more.
Right.
For Halloween.
So that, that pretty much did us in. And so when he came over yesterday, he was like, what is all that? Terry found was like a ghost. It's holding, it's a blow up, and it holds is it a pumpkin?
A pumpkin, like
it's trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
And then you found the spider web, which you're working on. Not the spider web, but the spider itself.
To go on it, and it's as big as the yard.
Because the spider web's pretty big.
Yeah.
It kind of goes out in
10,
the front.
15 feet.
Then we found, which the more I think of it, is kind of cool, that ghost that kind of slides along a
We didn't
string.
pay barely anything for that, did we?
No, I think it was like $7.
Yeah.
And it goes by
That's all
motion.
we paid for the little ghost.
And then it goes up and down this line. You string it across. Well, we actually have where our porch and the street sign is. It's long enough to reach both, and it kind of does all this scary.
They didn't have stuff out. I don't remember having stuff out like that. They probably did if you went to the specialty, like special occasions or something like that. But I was never willing to pay their price.
You mean back in the day, or just?
Yeah, back in the day when Zachary was little, because I was too busy,
I don't even know back then if they even had the blow-up stuff. Like they do with the little fans.
Oh, they didn't.
I don't think so.
But like the ghosts that went, ooh, they might have had something like that.
Maybe. Seemed like it got more and more as the kids got older. That's when all this really big. And we usually decorate. You decorate with, we don't use cornstalk, but we use the grasses. It's kind of a Thanksgiving sort of.
Yeah, leave it up through Thanksgiving.
This is the most really we've done in a long time as far as.
Oh, yeah, for Halloween. And we'll take the Halloween stuff down and leave the scarecrows and the pumpkins and stuff out.
Right. And it's mainly because we have a grandchild. And I think that's what Zachary was saying. Oh, I see how it is,
Yeah. Well, and if we go back in those 3 great big pumpkins that were real expensive are on sale 75 or 95% off.
95% off.
Well, I've gotten things 90% off there before.
Yeah, Big Lots. Yeah, but, if they're still there.
They have faces on them like jack-o'-lanterns, but I could turn them around so the faces are facing the house and use them for the whole season.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
if they're heavy enough to not blow away.
Well, it might be something we could stake them to the ground.
Yeah.
But we did that. Then we went to, we did a lot of stuff actually this week, more than I've done in a long. You've packed everything into one weekend more than I've done in years. Because anywhere where there's people, I usually don't like to be. And we went to Pamani's, had our big giant sandwich. We almost missed the movie, Ticket to Paradise. By the way, if you want to see something, just kind of lighthearted, George Clooney, Julia Roberts, it's a good movie.
I thought it was good. It's a chick flick.
Yeah, but it's a good movie. It was fun.
It was funny. It made us laugh.
Made us laugh. We didn't pee our pants. Not that kind of laugh.
Not that hard.
But it was a good movie. Yeah. And then we got hit with, hey, we're going to Simmons Farm.
Pumpkin.
They do the hay rides and and we're going to take Fenn, and Then we did that.
And Ben was a little bit young for it, but he did very well, though, for his age.
I thought he did. Yeah. It's hard for him because he's only, 16 months
Not
old?
Even that.
He's not 16. But he was having trouble walking the terrain, if you will. So he fell down a lot.
He's like 15, 16 months. But remember from being premature, he'd only be 12, 13 months old.
We're gestational age.
Yes.
But I mean, he was walking and he was doing pretty good. For the most part, walking, but it was tough. It was tough doing, because we were walking through a maze. We ended up going through this maze. Never did find the way out.
Well, because
we were following him.
He got fussy.
So we were blaming him.
Well, but he got fussy then. And then, so I ended up knowing which one we did first each time. So we went back to the start.
But we were bent over trying to guide him because he wanted to walk. He didn't want to be held. And that's fine. But it was tough because we came home and we were exhausted.
From bending over trying to make him not roll down the hill in the cornfield whenever he fell down. And
not to mention, we'd had been on, how many hay rides basically did we go on? One to get to the main building. Then we went one to get to the entertainment,
where the
pumpkins
and where all the little games and stuff.
And then one to go back towards where the animals were, because we should have done that first.
Yeah, and they should have a section for smaller kids, like 2 and under. Park here, pay $5, so they're making money to feed the animals, and because you really can only do the animals. And then if you want a pumpkin, just pay extra for the pumpkin, or take the hayride and pay extra for the hayride for a pumpkin.
There wasn't a lot we could do with him.
Because I don't think he would have cared about the hayride that much anyhow. He loved chasing the chickens.
Oh, he liked chasing the chickens and the ducks.
Yeah, the chickens and the ducks. Quack, quack.
So we did that, and we came home just exhausted and had a shower because we were just
filthy dirty from the tractor
dirt
and the dirt coming up in your face. Yeah.
And that was my weekend. So that was it. And here we are on a Monday, Halloween Monday. Now, of course, if you're listening to this later on down the road, our episodes come out every Monday. So we're going to celebrate Halloween. Now, did you and your family dress up when you were young?
Yeah.
What was do you remember some of the costumes you had?
I just remember that as we got older, my brothers would only take us around. There was a neighborhood we lived in, and then there was an apartment building next to it. So you could get all the apartment building and all the neighborhood if you were real fast for the amount of trick-or-treating.
This is in Michigan.
Yeah, and you would have a lot of candy. Like, they used to fill up a whole pillowcase. But they said we slowed them down. So they would go through the neighborhood real quick with us and drop us off and go to the apartment building by themselves. Well, but I remember the one year my mother, we must have been quite young still, my mother went with us. Maybe she didn't go with us, but Martin and Gary took us, and Martin was dressed up like the devil, and he had white leotards like what you used to wear for like dance class, or he had all red leotards, red bodysuit, and she took a hanger and bent it and put red like leotard material and strapped it around his waist, and so it was his table, and she put a fork in the end of it. I don't know if she got a plastic red fork or something for his devil's tail. Well, so they weren't going to take us with them, so we got him back. The whole time we were trick-or-treating, we would step on that wire tail, and it would boing him in the butt, and he had a sore on his butt at the end of the night.
What kind of fork she put on there?
Well, it was the hanger to make it.
Oh, that's what was really poking him.
The wire, she had a wire so it would stick up like the devil's tail. You know what I mean? She had it went down and then it came up and it had the fork on it.
Right.
So we would, every time we got the chance, we would step on the bent part of the wire that would almost hit the ground just so that it would come back and smack him in the butt. And, it was it was like a metal hanger, so that piece of metal would smack him in the butt like you would like a slingshot or something.
I'm sure he got back to you on that one.
Yeah, he was a little bit angry with us
I'm
by
sure.
the time it was over. But I remember that particular Halloween because I remember having fun with that tail.
Must have been a pretty big tail.
I can't remember what I was dressed as, but I remember what
I was going to
got.
ask you what
Yeah.
you're dressed. You never said.
No, I usually was like a witch or something, but we had like quite a few costumes and we would reuse them. But
Well, the costumes back then was usually that plastic face that had the band around it, and usually the eyes would about rip your retinas out because if you tried to make them bigger, it was never really that great, and you'd have a jagged edge, and then you just sweat. Of course, they'd make these rubber masks now, but
we made mainly homemade like costumes. Like they were bums. They would wear our ripped up clothes like dirty their face and carry a garbage can or can't remember.
I can't remember. I'm sure it was. I don't remember dressing up.
I remember
for Halloween.
being like a princess or something like that, like with a plastic crown or you know what I mean. But I
probably a superhero, more than likely of some sort. But I don't remember. I don't remember
you
dressing
don't remember
up.
like dressing as Batman or
I remember getting candy, but I had to dress as something. I don't know what it is.
yeah, we got a lot of candy, and it was
So,
before they ever checked your candy.
weird.
And we just dug right into it. Did you guys?
Oh yeah, we dug into it. Absolutely.
We didn't even wait till we got home. Sometimes. So.
No, you had to get all the bad stuff, the popcorn balls and the wax lips, and usually someone would give you that. What's that drink?
Oh, the little
Hugs.
Yeah.
You'd get those. Although then they would give you the bigger. Some people would give you the bigger bars, like the Three Musketeers and the Snickers and
the
Milky
full
Way.
size candy bars.
Yes. Yeah, that was the fun. That was the fun.
Our
part.
neighborhood had too many kids that we didn't get a lot of things like that. We got mainly the fun size everything because there was a lot of kids between our neighborhood and the apartment building. My mom probably had like 200 or 300 treats, and when they were gone, she turned her light out.
And Nathan said our middle son, he lives in a really big neighborhood, and he just left the bowl out, and the first person just dumped it in his bag, and then that was it. Lights out. Because you can't trust kids. They're going to steal everything. Mm-hmm. We only get about, 20 maybe?
Yeah, usually
down
between
here.
10 and 20. And then, I remember the one people used to put hugs out on their porch when our kids were younger. And our kids were real good about it. The kids in this neighborhood were really good about taking one.
Yeah.
And they left it up there for everyone,
Now, our kids would dress up. RJ was always some type of a wrestler, like Undertaker.
He was Undertaker.
It was Mario.
Yeah, he was something different every year. The year he was Undertaker was 5th grade. Because when he walked into that party, everyone yelled, "The Undertaker!" And I made him like long yarn black hair. And we found
the hat,
the black cowboy hat at Goodwill.
Yeah.
And we used the purple. He was a purple Undertaker. Your sister had given a blazer, purple, that we folded up and made for his like outfit. And then he wore black pants and purple socks and black boot shoes. And you just took one look. And Nathan was quite a few times the Dracula. And then Zachary wanted to wear his Dracula when he was in preschool. And I put it on and painted his face and all. He went and looked in the mirror and he made me take it all off. I remember that. He was like, it's too scary. I'm not wearing that.
We had a Beetlejuice mask.
Oh, yeah. That scared the poop out of Sam when he was little.
Yeah, it scared the bejeebers out of him. That was a good mask. That really.
Your mom bought that, I think.
Probably my dad.
Yeah.
He's the one that got him started on Beetlejuice anyway. They were
when
babysitting.
you had a button you pushed and the snakes came up out of the top of the hair.
Yes. Because he had them
and
watch.
It went, ah!
They were babysitting and they watched Beetlejuice, and then they were hooked. Because he got them on wrestling. He'd buy tickets, take them to go wrestling. But the kids, especially RJ, he was more into probably the Halloween, I think, than the other two.
RJ was the most into Halloween. Zachary always liked decorating, but he didn't even trick or treat every year. The one year at Halloween, he got his tonsils out.
Yeah.
And someone felt sorry for him and bought him a bag of candy to eat when he was done, when he was allowed to eat again.
But since we've been here since '85, I think maybe in the beginning we had more trick or treaters than we have now. I think, but I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't think so.
We're at a
I
dead
think the
end.
most we had is 30 or 50. The one year that Washington
We never had
city
more
limits.
than 30.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Did
The
we?
one year that Washington city limits had it a different time than we did. And I think there were a couple carloads of kids that were dropped off in our neighborhood. And we ran out of candy once. But that's because it was a Sunday afternoon and everyone was dropping their
I was
kids
probably
off.
eating it too in the meantime. Here's one for you and two for me. One
Yeah.
for you, two for me. So that's a little bit about our Halloween. How do you guys, do you think people can overdo Halloween with their decorations?
Yeah, I've seen some where they have.
It's really like, it's like with the whole thing is just
like
full
they have
of,
too many. Like, I mean, if you're going into a spook house and you have like the RIP outside and this and that, but if they have too many different things, like, I don't know.
I think it's preference, but I think if you're going to do it, I like what they do over next door.
Across the street, they do it up
spend some
big.
money.
Yeah,
They do it up pretty
spend some
big.
money, yeah.
But it's not gaudy.
No, but the one year they did have an awful lot of stuff out there.
Yeah, this is all big. They have
They
some
had
big
like,
stuff.
like all kinds of stuff.
But it
out there
doesn't
that
seem
one
like
year.
it's that way.
No, this year it's really
But I
good.
think you can just overdo it by just you have all this stuff all over. It's kind of, I think simple is,
I didn't take a
keep it
picture
simple.
of Lauren's, did I?
No, I haven't seen
I
it.
should have, because her spider web's going down in the yard, and underneath that there's a graveyard with a skeleton coming up, and then the RIP little gravestones.
See, that's
it's really
good.
cute.
That's
and
cute.
then there's spider webs on her bushes,
That's
like
perfect.
over on the side.
So yeah, I
It
mean,
was
I think you can overdo it, but I think it's all preference. If you like it, and you're really into it, go for it. Because now we get into October, which is hard to believe. This is the end of October. We get into Thanksgiving, Christmas, and then winter.
I know. I'm
Winter.
not looking forward to winter. I cry when we put the cover on the pool.
Some of the most popular songs for Halloween are Monster Mash,
The Monster Mash.
Michael Jackson's Thriller, which is, of course, that's
That was always good, and that was a great one.
and a song called This Is Halloween from the Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes.
So those are just some of the most popular songs. Some people have some weird phobias. Some people have, and I can't pronounce, like I think this is called synegesophobia, which is a fear of relatives. So if you have somebody that doesn't want to see you, it's probably because they're afraid of you. There's also a papaphobia, fear of the Pope. I think it's lipophobia, which is fear of becoming fat, which lipo, you can use that to get rid of the fat. There's fear of string. There's a fear of a great mole rat. Fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of one's mouth. And I can't pronounce that. That is so long. Arch booty. I don't know what that is. But that someone actually has a fear that the peanut butter might get stuck to the roof of their mouth. Some people have fear of balloons. Some have fear of love. I can see that. Some have fear of hair.
Love can bite you.
Yeah, it can bite you in the butt. And fear of laughter. Some of the weird phobias as we I'll do one more story about pumpkin carving. This is all last minute because I forgot that it was Halloween. I watched you carve a pumpkin. And I was thinking to myself, you're going to hurt yourself. And apparently pumpkin carving can be very dangerous. It says here, any holiday that combines candy with funny-looking pumpkins really can't be bad. But it turns out it can be dangerous. To reduce the risk of serious injury while carving jack-o'-lanterns, a study suggests people may be better off avoiding knives and getting specially designed pumpkin cutters. Now, we have some of the pumpkin cutters.
they're
because that's how you cut the teeth and the eyes and all that stuff.
and they're easier. Some of the specially designed ones are not as sharp. They're like used like when you go in and out. That's when they cut.
I know Fenn was getting when he was getting on the top in the way you were cutting in a circle.
Oh, he wanted the knife.
He
though.
wanted
That's
the
all
knife.
they wanted.
I know he
didn't
did,
want
yeah.
nothing to do with the pumpkin and the carving. He wanted the Yeah.
Now it says here though, it's funny because this is the headline: the deadly threat of pumpkin carving, but yet it doesn't give you any data on how many people actually are injured each year while carving pumpkins. So it's kind of like, I don't know whether to believe
The
you
pumpkin
or
carving
not.
knives, I think, make it a little easier, and some of them don't have a point on the top. So when you're doing something that you know is coming through the other side, you could use those.
Yeah.
That would cut down on some.
All right. Some of the things I was going to talk about today, other than Halloween, was, do you know what your spouse makes as far as money? I did a study. Now, you and I, we know how much we make.
Yeah.
We know we have a joint account. A lot of people do not do
Joint accounts.
joint
anymore.
accounts. They do separate accounts. They keep it separate. They do, even some people do where this person pays, maybe
Part of the mortgage and that person,
and
yeah.
whatever, and the other person pays maybe for food and
Utilities or whatever.
something. Yeah. But it's funny how many people do not know. They did this study. 30% of spouses do not know how much their mate earns for a living. And it seems high, but I don't know. Maybe it's just something that I don't think they want to keep it secret. Maybe they just never ask. But you would think they would know somewhat, unless you change jobs
Yeah.
a lot and you don't know. But I think if you're communicating with your loved one, you probably would know how much that person, because especially if you're, hey, I have a job offer.
We both, like I have a contract. All you have to do is read it.
Yeah, but I don't look to
No,
see.
you don't look at it.
But I see the checkbook.
But you see the check coming into the checkbook. And
we
I
both
see the check
and you see
coming into the checkbook.
Yeah, so you know what's in there. And
Yeah.
I just thought that was interesting that 30%, which may not seem high, but I think it's kind of high, do not know what their spouse makes.
I know that most couples have their own accounts anymore. I think because the divorce rate is high and stuff, a lot of women don't want all their money going in, because if they're left high and dry, at least they have their own little checkbook,
Yeah.
to make it through until they can make some changes,
Right. So
Because like back in our mom's day, when just the dad worked most of the time, if the dad left, they were left to either move in with their mom or whatever. They had to rely on their family to help them because they didn't have any income. And if they took the income and closed out the accounts and left, you were high and dry.
I think that's interesting because now you just kind of hit that when you said that. It makes sense to a certain extent where they, women might want to say, you know what, I need
at least
not
a
that I
little
don't-
savings
Yes,
account of a couple $100 that doesn't have your name on it, so that if you ever, I can at least go get groceries and
Yeah, because if that did happen and you're high and dry, because if he has, there might be a joint account, but he could, if you both have your name on it, he could, if he gets
Take
there,
it, he can take
if it's
it
in his
out.
mind or her mind, I shouldn't say just he or her,
or they could
could have
either of them could go and
and
clean it
drain
out.
you out, and then
I've
you have
heard of
nothing.
women doing that to people.
Yeah, it's good. It's both ways.
I've heard of people. I've heard of people, hooking up with someone and get their apartment, buy them all new because they're so into it and they just want to give them everything. And then they come home one day and the apartment's cleaned out, and that person that they moved in with took all the furniture, all the brand new furniture, which you're still paying payments on and everything, and cleaned you out and took it all. So then you either pay the payments or you have bad credit. Go find her and repo it.
There has been many stories where people
Yeah,
have
we've
come
found
home and there's been nothing left in the apartment or the house, whatever. It's just cleaned out dry, and you had no
idea
inkling
that it was even
so
happening.
I can see to a certain extent wanting to keep some things separate. Maybe this sounds bad, but obviously the mortgage would probably be in both names still. But then you could say, well, why don't you take the electric bill? I'll take the. Of course, then if you don't know if it's getting paid, and you get hit with $1,000, you just don't know. But I can see where they might want to keep.
We got hit with a couple of them through college.
Yeah,
didn't
through
we?
people roommates.
Yeah, not paying the bill.
We got hit with a couple of those for sure, but it all works out in the end. But it's not fun when you're trying to pay a $2,000 bill or whatever it was at that time. But I can see where people would want maybe separate accounts to a certain extent. But big decisions, we talked about that last week. When you make a big decision, you should be able to communicate with one another. Hey, I'm thinking about, like we were buying a car or buying a table that fits 12 people. Goes from, I showed Mona, she thought it looked kind of neat how it goes from 2 all the way to 12.
Yeah.
But it wasn't cheap.
No.
It wasn't cheap, but it's not here yet.
It was more than I would have probably paid, but.
Oh, it's a lot more than we would have paid, but it should pay off for the holidays. We'll have a lot more room. So we'll see. It's not here yet. It comes next week.
And we can return it if we don't like it, right?
Well, that should be fun.
Oh, yeah. Why will there be shipping and everything to pay?
I would assume, but we'll see.
Hopefully we'll like it. No,
I think we will.
Yeah.
I think we will. Your toothbrush, do you ever think about the bacteria on it?
Yeah, and when I've had like after I've had the flu or something, someone has said to me, like when I couldn't get rid of the cough, you might want to throw away your toothbrush and find another one.
Yeah.
And, because
of course, nowadays
that might be one reason you can't get over it or you keep getting COVID. If you keep getting it, you might want to throw it away and get a new one.
Yeah, try something
Even
different.
if you get COVID again next week, throw it away again and try again.
If you watch the news, everything's killing you pretty much.
Yes.
Everything's you're going to die from everything pretty much, but that's not really true. You've also might have heard some claims about gross, maybe dangerous bacteria invading your body when you flush the toilet. This was actually done on that. What was that show that the kids used to watch where they would test things?
Zachary used
science
to watch
thing.
science.
Those two guys, they actually didn't get along.
Really?
Yeah, I read they did not get along. They did it for the show itself, but they never.
Strange.
I just saw. I can't think.
I know because they did one on the flush in the toilet and how far the germs went if you didn't shut the lid. And in public restrooms, there's no lids on there to shut.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's open. There's no toilet seat.
Yeah, so
of course, my toothbrush is not in there anyway.
But our toothbrush is in ours.
In our bathroom.
Yeah,
but I'm saying if you're in a public toilet, if your toothbrush is in there, you got a problem anyway. Yeah. But it said that Fitness Magazine looked at a number of germ and bacteria myths.
Mythbusters.
Mythbusters. Yeah, that's right. Mythbusters. That's it. To conclude that few, if any, have any impact on your life. For example, consider the commonly held belief that your toilet sprays your toothbrush with bacteria every time you flush it. This is true, but it's not as gross and dangerous as it might sound. Microorganisms are ejected when you flush the toilet and land all over the bathroom, even if you're in there. So you'd have to run if you didn't want that on your clothes.
Like when
flush and run. Close the door behind you.
When you are in the public restroom, because you're in a stall and it's more or less going to hit you. So you need to open the stall door, flush, and run out so that it's stuck in there.
What's weird is even if you close the lid, doesn't matter. They still can get out because it's not sealed tight. It's not like the seats.
It's not like it has a
right. It's not sealed tight like Tupperware.
Like weather stripping around it.
Right. Yeah. There's none of that. So even if you close the lid, it's still going to get some microorganisms just spraying all over the place. They said though you're not going to get sick from this. That's because when the toothbrush dries, most of the organisms will die anyway. Just keep your toothbrush as far away from the toilet as possible, probably under your pillow at night in your bed. Or put it in the medicine cabinet or drawer. If someone in the house is ill, that's what you said, and using the same bathroom as you are, germs could be spread your way.
Yeah.
Huh. That's why I just found that little plastic thing.
You put it on top of it.
I started clipping it on there. And I don't know why. I just
That's a travel thing for your.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why I started doing that. I have no idea. So I thought, I think it's because it was in the drawer. It's kind of in my way. So I thought I'll just clip it on there. And so my toothbrush might be safe, even from all your hacking and coughing first thing in the morning.
And pulling all the snot out of the back of my throat.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's take a little break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about 7 weird things people find attractive. And let's talk a little bit about popcorn and maybe some strange toppings.
For popcorn
that we could try.
Sounds good. Okay.
All right. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. So you want to start a podcast. Maybe you're listening to the show today and you're thinking to yourself, boy, that would be fun. And I have a lot of things I want to talk about. Maybe today is the day. Maybe you're looking for a new marketing channel, or you have a message that you'd like to share with the world, or you just think it would be fun to have a talk show. Now, it is a lot of fun just talking to your friends. Maybe you have ideas about sports, life, or whatever your passion is. Today's the day. Podcasting is easy, it's inexpensive, and it's a fun way to expand your reach online. And where should you go? Buzzsprout. It's hands down the easiest, and it's the best way to launch, promote, and track your podcast. And your show, believe it or not, can be online and listed in all the major podcast directories in minutes, like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcast, and you wouldn't believe how many more there are. And they make it simple to join all of them. Podcasting is not hard when you have the right partners, and Buzzsprout is the team to join. They are passionate about your success. You can join over 1,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout. We're one of them. We've been on Buzzsprout from the beginning, and I'm so glad I joined up. I had a little bit of an issue, emailed a customer service rep, and they got back to me within 5 minutes, and they had me calm down. It wasn't that hard, and what I was doing was my fault. So here's all you got to do. Click on the link in the show notes. It tells Buzzsprout we sent you. You can support our show, and if you get a paid plan, you get a $20 gift certificate from Amazon. Now, here's some other things that Buzzsprout provides. Like, you get a great looking podcast website. Now, a lot of people think, oh, I got to get a website, got to pay for that. No, you don't. They provide it for you. Also, they have audio players. Maybe you have a website, and all you want to do is promote your show on your own website. You can do that with their audio players, and you can also drop it into other websites and on Facebook or Twitter, and they help you do it all. Believe me, Buzzsprout is the way to go. They've helped me immensely, and I've had a lot of fun doing it. So maybe today is a day for you to start your podcast. And if you do, check out the link below in the show notes and get a $20 Amazon gift card. Hello and welcome back to half hour number 2. That sound about right?
Yeah.
I'm still Ron.
I'm Terry.
And this is Halloween, and we talked a little bit of Halloween, but we're gonna talk about some popcorn toppings, which I have right here. There might be something different we might try. I love pop. I was gonna make popcorn the other night. We had all the people here. I should have made it.
Yeah.
But it was all in pieces.
But then he brought pizza, and they were
eating pizza.
So that was good.
But that's another thing that happened. It was kind of neat because we haven't done that in a while. Watch a hockey game. I miss
that. I do miss that because it used to be every hockey game and every football game, almost every hockey game and every football game. We had quite a few people, not only our kids.
Yeah, you guys might be upstairs. We were downstairs.
And we would have people in both rooms watching the games. And it was and the guys came almost every hocky game.
Usually.
And it was more than family.
Friday night,
it was family and
Saturday
extended
night.
Family and a few friends. And I really enjoyed that the other night when, at least we had, 5, 6 people. And my mom ended up staying until the whole hockey game was over.
That's because you didn't offer to take her home.
Well, you think she would have went home otherwise? But
I don't know.
think she was enjoying talking to all the guys.
Yeah, I don't think so. So, it was fun. So we actually, that's probably, like I said, it's the most I've done in a weekend in a long time, because I am not.
And I was really dragging this morning.
I was too. I asked you, I said, you want to take the day off? We could have had
when
this
I got
done
there,
already.
I was like, I should have, but then I was like, I'm glad I didn't, because it had taken me another day to get caught up.
It's all the other, it's the back stuff. And that's same with us too.
Nothing. It's not like someone does everything that I do when I'm there. They do the minimal amount, and then I have to make up.
Well, because they're just filling in.
Right.
So that's
I don't even think anyone knows what all I do.
7 weird things. See, it kind of fits in with the weird.
Yes,
we
weird.
talked about
weird
some phobias.
And unusual. Yeah.
Yeah, and people are afraid of certain things. And so I thought, and actually this wasn't, I didn't even think about Halloween. This was something we were going to do last week.
That we didn't get to.
And we didn't get to. So someone on Reddit had asked, what is the weirdest thing you find extremely attractive? And I've got 7 of them. And we'll start at number 7. You want to?
What I like doing it.
Yeah, I know. And I have this, she made this, I have this, this weird zit that's on the very back of my head, which I'm kind of glad it's back there.
It's on your
I
neck.
don't see it.
Yeah.
It's because if I'm in the mirror, I'd be pinching it, but I am messing with it.
Well, because it looks like it's really sore.
It's very sore, and I've been getting these
It's
weird
not
zits.
attractive, though. I just like to.
Can you imagine if it's on the end of my nose? My nose is big enough as it is, but I don't need a freaking giant pimple on it too.
I know, but
Hope I didn't put the
if you
whammy on
ever,
myself.
it's like a blind zit too.
It is. It's a
like
blind
hard
zit.
as a rock.
And I've been
Have
getting
you
more
ever
of those.
seen people who have real bad acne? That's how they are on top of each
Yeah.
other on their face, and it looks like it hurts.
Feel bad for them.
Yes,
because
because they are painful, aren't they?
they are painful because you mess with it and it makes it worse because you think, well, if I find
Get
a way
it.
to pinch it, but I can't see it because it's right smack dab on my hairline.
Right.
And the back of my now everybody's going to be staring at me, wanting to see if my pimple's back there. That'd be like
It'll be gone by the time it's out there.
the guy. What was the guy with the humpback?
Yeah.
All right, so number 7. They don't know why, but exhausted men look super hot to me, according to this person.
Exhausted.
Probably because being exhausted is as close as being the real you as possible. So they like to see someone. Well, this person is a woman.
Maybe
obviously. Well,
they just
a
like to
woman.
know that he works
Likes-
because there's
yeah,
a lot of lazy
that's-
people out there.
That is true too. That's number 7. Number 6. My boyfriend shaved his beard off and just left a mustache. Holy heck! I was not expecting to dig the sexy Flanders vibe, Mr. Flanders from
Yeah.
The Simpsons, that he's got going. So apparently she liked the mustache, the porno mustache probably that he has going on. Kind of turned her on. Sometimes people like something different.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just a difference. Yeah.
Maybe I should shave my chest. Do you think you'd like smooth or hairy? That was actually something else we were gonna, but I don't know. Maybe we should save that one because I can't find the. I had a survey where they ask women if they like smooth or hairy, but I can't find it. So we may have to
It
wait.
depends on where the smooth and hairy are.
Let's move on to number 5. Number 5, being able to make a good Excel spreadsheet turns somebody on.
Well, they like nerds.
I guess so. How would you even know it's a good Excel spreadsheet, though?
I don't know.
Unless you're really good at Excel, I guess. I wouldn't.
Do a matrix
really
and then
know.
you'll know.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
With the formulas, and then the formulas have to go into the sheet. And yeah, that's a good one. That's a nerdy one.
Oh, I thought
Takes a lot of time.
You seem like you get excited. You're getting your rocks off on watching
No,
people
it's
do
just-
ass.
It's just
How about the number 4? This is a little weird. That's why we're doing 7 weird things people find attractive. Armpits. Like when a girl lifts her arms above her head, this person loves that, but has no idea why. What if that, like, she lifts her and she didn't
shave
she's got this big old fluffy
thing going.
gerbil going on underneath her armpit. Yeah, I know this is a thing now that some women are not shaving their armpits. And I saw this, I don't know, it was on one of these social media. I got to tell you, it's
A turn off.
it's not doing it for me. Just not. Hey, whatever you want to do.
You don't want
if you don't
them
want
as
to
hairy
shave.
as you.
I wouldn't know. I
You
would
wouldn't
not
want
want
me
a
as
woman.
hairy as you.
No, I don't want you hairy. I like smooth. Oh God, we're getting way deep
Okay.
in this thing. Yeah, I don't want you hairy. I mean, if that's the case, then you wouldn't be sitting here
Okay.
if I wanted something hairy, right?
Well, some people have chin.
I mean,
chin
some people
hairs.
like the hair because it keeps them warm in the wintertime. Because I ain't saying okay. All right, number 3. This is 7 weird things people find attractive. When guys are reversing the car and they put one hand on the back of the passenger seat to look backwards. Of course, I don't know if they'd still do that anymore because you have the
backup mirrors. and stuff.
the cameras. You've got the cameras, but so he's turning around, he's putting his arm, he's looking. She finds that, or whoever finds that attractive. Maybe because it's like the move,
Yeah. Yeah.
the stop short.
Stop short.
Yeah, right in front of keep you safe. Number 2, 7 weird things people find attractive. House plants. Chicks with plants are just very hot to me. But we got a lot of plants in this house.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
We got a lot of house plants, which are not, you used to have a black thumb. So something's working because.
Well, we put the sunroom on. There's more light back there.
I like when you water your plants. Should I go any further?
No.
All right. The number one weird thing that people find attractive, maybe that's one of the weird things, watching you water your plant first thing in the morning. Gets my plant going. Number one, someone said they like scars. Each one has a story, and this person wants to know what that story is for scars. So that turns them on. They said that number 3 was weird. The guy backing up, putting his arm on the back of the seat. That was the one they thought was the weirdest. None of these are really.
That, like you said, now you've got the cameras in the car, and so you don't really have to turn and look like that anymore.
Yeah, you've got the cars that
actually park for you.
They parallel park themselves, or you've got what was the other thing that they do? You saw that commercial where they get out of the car
and then they park,
and the car pulls up into it. But it's like, and they squeezed into 2 old trucks where they couldn't. If there was a passenger, they couldn't get in, which makes no sense. Why
the driver couldn't get in on one side and the passenger couldn't get in on the other.
Why would you park?
Well, because then you just open the other door and crawl through.
Yeah, but that would just tick
what
off
they used to do,
the person that you parked there. You put $60,000.
I know, and they're going to open the door and whack your door for it.
I mean, it just doesn't make any real sense. We love popcorn. Yeah. We haven't had it. We don't eat it as much as we used to. I like making it.
It's cheap. It's a cheap snack, and it's more healthy than most snacks. I mean, it's the salt and the butter and whatever you put on it that's the calories, because if you just pop popcorn and drizzle a little bit of olive oil on it, it's probably not that bad for you.
No, and I think, my go-to, when we went to the movie theater, that popcorn smelled really, really good.
Except we were just too full from our sandwiches.
Well, I wasn't going to buy. I already paid. Well, we got their matinee.
So that was.
But nice. I wasn't about to pay another $10 for popcorn. Who knows what it cost? I don't know. Is that what it cost anymore?
I don't even know.
Everything's so.
I didn't look because I wasn't planning on getting any.
Everything was so expensive. It's just. Okay, so the BuzzFeed they asked its readers, and they had some suggestion on trying a new popcorn topping. So if you were to try something different, maybe you didn't have any butter, let's say, no butter in the house, but you had popcorn. You're going to make popcorn. What kind of, what would you put on it?
Melted chocolate.
Okay.
White chocolate. Whatever I had in there, butterscotch.
Well, we've
chips,
got
butterscotch, peanut butter chips.
We've got the chips, the chocolate chips.
Any
we buy
kind
them
of
all
chips,
the time.
you could probably melt them down and drizzle it.
What do you think about Italian seasoning?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, with a little olive oil, that might be good.
We might have to try this as one of our
drizzle
shows.
a little olive oil, or pop it in olive oil, and then put the Italian seasonings on it.
We have to make plain popcorn and see how this works. Trader Joe's. Everything but the bagel sesame seasoning blend.
Sesame seasoning.
So it would have all kinds of different.
It would be like a bagel without the bagel.
Yes. Sesame.
Yeah, sesame bagel.
What if that'd be good?
If you like that kind of stuff. Like I like a sesame bagel, so I guess I would like it.
McCormick's cinnamon sugar?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think that would be.
That would be good.
What's on the, what's it called? The popcorn that's in the pink or purple bag?
Oh,
what's that called?
It's Angie's Sweet and Salty.
So is that caramel on that? Because it's supposed to be good.
It's delicious.
Because you can't stop.
I can eat the whole bag.
Is it called Angie's?
The ones around here are. It's in a lavender bag.
Lavender, yeah.
And
that's really good popcorn.
It's sweet and salty. It's called. So I'm sure it's some kind of chocolate or caramel drizzled. It might have a little bit of both.
Very addicting.
And then it has some salt too, because it's sweet and salty.
If you're going to try a new popcorn topping, how about chocolate, what you said, and caramel syrup?
Yes, caramel syrup wouldn't be bad.
Not at all.
Your ice cream toppings, melt them down.
throw it all over the popcorn.
Caramel,
I know the
chocolate.
one show we did, they put mayonnaise on there. That they did all kinds of different
On the
mayonnaise was
ice
on
cream?
one. Yeah, on the popcorn.
Oh,
They wanted
I
to
don't
try
know if I
different
like that.
toppings. Buffalo sauce on your popcorn.
Well, see, if you're really into hot sauce, you might like that.
Seasonings, there's a lot
And
of
you could
seasoning.
drizzle it and dry it in, you know?
Right. Old Bay seasoning, which is almost, I would think, like the bagel sesame seasoning blend. Nutella on their popcorn.
Yeah, I think that would be good. I mean, just a little bit of drip.
I don't think I've ever had Nutella.
I don't think you're into it because
Have I ever had? We had it?
Yes, we were buying it because when right before Zachary went to college, he liked Nutella on his toast and stuff.
What about, what do you think about ranch seasoning blend?
Yeah, you can,
Or
like
ranch.
your ranch.
They put ranch on everything.
You know the ranch seasonings like in the packets that you can make your own dressing? Just sprinkle it on there.
Black truffle infused olive oil.
Well, that's what I said, olive oil, yeah.
You think olive oil would be, I'm trying to think of something else that might be odd.
I think that would be a lot healthier if you just cooked it in a little bit of olive oil, maybe drizzle a tiny bit on and put Italian seasoning on it. It would probably be much more healthy for you.
That's true. That's a good point. But those are just some of the things people are trying for their popcorn. If you're thinking about trying something different, but it's hard when you don't have the butter and the salt, especially the popcorn salt.
Yes.
That my dad would make that popcorn from the store.
Yeah.
We had a video store, and I think that's why most people came in, just to have the popcorn. We gave away bags of popcorn, especially to the kids.
Yeah.
And man, that popcorn was good. I wish I'd have kept that machine now. I don't know if we were allowed to because we were going through all that
Crap
stuff, but yeah, that would have been nice to keep. Last one. And, we had this Hurricane Ian down in Florida. And Ashley Garner lost her wedding ring in outside her Fort Myers home before the hurricane crashed into the coast of the South. And it was pretty much beat up Florida pretty bad, not to mention other states as it came back in and went out and then came back in. South Carolina, North Carolina, and we got some rain. Despite enlisting her husband and 3 children to help search around the house for 2 days, now there's no sign of the ring. So she pretty much said, well, my wedding ring is gone. Sounds familiar.
Yeah, I've lost a few.
Yeah, you've lost a couple. And not due to any kind of hurricane. Of course, she didn't either. This was before the hurricane. The family stayed at their home during the storm, went outside to clean up, and as soon as it had passed, 10 minutes into cleaning, her husband was cleaning up brush in the trees right next to the garage door, moved one pile, and guess what was there?
The wedding ring.
Her wedding ring. Garner said she couldn't believe they found the ring. Her neighborhood didn't experience the destructive flooding that many parts of the state did. She said they did get 150-mile-an-hour winds, lots of trees, but yet the ring was right there.
That's crazy.
So that's a crazy story.
Mm-hmm.
Something to just because you think you lost it, just got to keep the faith. Sometimes it's right underneath our nose.
Yeah, I'm still looking for 2 of them.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, those are long gone. That's been since 1980.
I lost not only mine, but my mother's.
Yeah, it was in 80. Let's see. Maybe it was in 90s. Was it 90s when I started working at Millcraft when they had the picnics? Because that's when you lost the first one.
The first one was right after I had Nathan.
We were getting ready to play
he was born in
softball.
89, so it was in 89, 90.
So I think you had your glove on, I think.
89 or 90, I lost that one.
Is that what it was? We were playing?
Yeah, we were playing softball.
Yeah, softball. And I think the glove, we thought
pitching.
it was in the glove.
I was pitching.
Yeah. And then the second time was you lost a ring.
Was at
was that a graduation party?
RJ's graduation party. And at the end of the night, I took all the pop out of the ice water. And that must have shrank my finger down when it was cold, and I lost the ring, and some of that either went down the drain, washing dishes, or in that water. And we went back to look on the hill to make sure it wasn't there. And your family went through the garbage.
They did. They searched all through the garbage.
Your cousins' wives or something else.
Yeah.
They're like, who's? I'm like, it was my mother's. It was my dad bought that for my mother, and she gave it to me because I had lost my wedding ring.
Too.
And it was tighter on me, so I didn't think I would lose it. And
we never bought another one, right? What are you wearing now?
I have another one. It won't fit over my knuckle.
I know, but is that the one did we buy that after?
No, that one that one I can't wear because it's too.
That's
small.
what I'm saying. Did we buy that though after the second?
Yeah, we bought this one when your sister was still working at the jewelry
store.
Oh
yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay, maybe we need to get you another one.
It's similar to the first one.
I watched a guy stretch. You have this. Looks like
it's a metal,
like a point, and then
it's like it's a sizing.
Yes, and it says that you have to be really careful because you could go over,
right,
and it would be too big. So we need to take it to a jeweler and have them do it. So maybe we'll do that this weekend.
Yeah,
if you don't have me doing some other stuff, running around finding pumpkins. Oh, I'll find some pumpkins. All right, that's it. We really want to thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe. That way you get every Monday, you get an alert that a new show is out, and you can listen to us on Apple, Spotify, Google, wherever you get your podcast. But we really appreciate you listening. And also you can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter. I need to do more. I know I don't do enough of our social media. Maybe ask questions that we could actually go over some things. So it's Just Talking Out Loud, our Facebook and Twitter page, and then our email, justtalkingoutloud@gmail.com. You could do it that way too. I wish there was a way to have comments underneath each episode like they do on YouTube, which I was working on the YouTube thing, and then we don't do video. So you have to have something that it takes it from an MP3 to an MP4, and you have to have some type of a picture that kind of moves or something. I don't know. I've seen it's done. It's being done. So I'm still working on that. But anyways, you can follow us on all those platforms, and we really appreciate you looking, and we are out.
Have a blessed week.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed today's show.